Hey, so thanks all very much for attending COPA. It was good. It was fantastic. And on the basis of that, obviously, instead of just deciding to share my slides, I thought it'd be good if we could kind of talk you through a little bit about the presentation so you've got a little bit more information. So I hope you found this useful. And in my passion is understanding, the big difference between as a business and as a client and how the two match. And the idea of this presentation is to look about expectation matching and how that then delivers an amazing customer experience and a good environment for everyone to work and to be in. To start off, I think it's a very important thing to understand that if you're serving coffee or you're selling coffee or you're in the restaurant industry or in the healthcare industry, that actually our business that we're in is about customer experience and what we're going to deliver in and the experience that our clients are going to go through in your business. But the ultimate aim is to exceed the expectation of the client and to create an amazing or an awesome experience for each and every person that enters your business. It's important to understand that clients are on an emotional journey as well as physical, and your responsibility is to help support them through that journey too. Because what's really important is when you create an awesome journey for your client and experience, what they will then want to do is become raving fans. And what we know about raving fans is these are the clients that want to tell their friends, their family, their network, their running club, their cycling club, their knitting club, whatever club they're associated to, or whatever group or affiliates they are to. They want to tell everybody how great and how awesome you are. And because what that then does is these are free marketing assets to your business. These are people that are going to be bringing in free leads and free new clients into your business. And then we've got to think about, why is creating an experience important or taking the time to do this? Well, what we do know is that marketing is very costly. It can take a lot of time, a lot of effort. And what we want to be able to do then is create a return on that investment. And one way to get a fantastic return on investment is getting to a client to the end of their journey. But to get a client to the end of their journey, we first must understand or seek to understand, as Stephen Covey would put it, what a client expects from your business. And in return, what we've got to do is we've got to set the expectation for the client so that we allow them to understand what your business does offer or what your business can do for them and how far your business can take them along their journey or past even where they believe their journey should end. Can you take them that extra bit? And what I've recognised over years and years is the fact that many clients can't actually put a lot of the pieces together. So they know where parts of the journey are, but they can't actually attach them all to do. So when we then set a framework or set an expectation framework for this client journey, what this allows you to do is to join up all the pieces. When everyone knows where all the pieces fit in the puzzle, so where everyone's roles and responsibilities sit, this then creates trust. Trust then can or ensure compliance. So if you're giving exercises out or you're giving direction or you're giving advice, what you can then ensure is that this advice, these exercises and these things will be taken and done well. And then thinking about a client, by putting a client framework in, we get consistency and measurable. And this is important for any business, that you get your business is repeatable with every single client, so everyone gets a good experience and a good framework and a good outcome, but also along the way, that what we do get is we get that every single person, so if you're a multi-practitioner business, that every person in your business delivers a similar service. And then what you're offering is so everyone's going to get a similar service. What's also important as a business is the fact that it becomes measurable. So what we can do is when we develop this, and we'll look at it in a minute, this 10-step process, we can then create a key performance indicator for each step to see how successful each step is working and where we need to focus our time and effort to see where we can improve or if things are working really, really well. Now, we we tell the story about chocolate on a pillow. It was shared with me, and it's something which is important to highlight where we're going with this. So a couple, they book into a nice hotel for a special occasion, and when they arrive in the hotel room, lovely room, and there's just a little chocolate on the pillow. They go down for a meal, they have a lovely meal, the wine's good, the food's fantastic, the service is phenomenal. So they have a great experience, so they then decide to go back, rebook, and go back. On the second occasion, they go back, they arrive, they go to the hotel room's lovely, there's that lovely little chocolate on the pillow, lovely touch. They go down for a meal. The meal isn't as good, the wine selection's changed a bit and it's not as good as last time, and the food isn't and the service isn't as good, but still a really good experience, so they rebook. They then come back for the third time, and what they recognise is, as they get greeted the same, but when they walk to the hotel room is the same, all apart from that little chocolate on the pillow. So they then go down to the restaurant, they have the food, the service isn't that good again. The food isn't just as good as it was, on the wine list isn't as good. So now they decide, this has actually dropped, the standards have dropped, so we don't think we're going to rebook. And it's those little things, those little consistency things in your business that could be having that same desired effect. And I understand this is quite a dramatic story, and you're probably not going to be putting chocolate on all your pillows. But it was this there to highlight that by putting a framework and a system in place, you can create consistency, which can create a rebooking attitude or a raving fan culture. Because if you fail to create clarity, trust or consistency in your business, then you are going to get those poor compliance rates. You're going to get those people that do forget to come, or don't bother turning up, or cancel late, or don't complete the end of their journey, or fail to to create those outcomes that you're looking to achieve. And then these are the people that aren't going to be out there telling how wonderful you are. In fact, they could be the opposite. They could be people out there telling me that you can't actually achieve what you said you achieve. And one of the things, if we do create raving fans, and it should be the goal and the aim of everything, is one, increases revenue, which is a business should be our priority. Two, it decreases your stress and the stress of everyone around you, which is again is a lovely environment to be in, and having happy clients and a growing business should be the ultimate goal for every one of you out there. So again, let's take some time to reflect your own business. What does the journey look like in your business? And this is where, for me, if I would just pause this video and this presentation to just think about this, what does that journey look like from start to finish for you in your business? How do you follow up, or what is the aftercare of when someone has achieved their outcome or even left your business? What can you do, and how can you help them through that? And what can you do to stay in touch? Is your service consistent with every single client? And again, the key question I was thinking important, is there one thing in your business that you must change? And if it is, get it written down now and get it changed. We've all got that one thing that we're putting off because of whatever reason. We're procrastinators, so we'll do it tomorrow, But why not I challenge you today? Why don't you just write that thing down, and why don't you get it sorted this week? So as I explained, there's a reason why behind my sharing of this framework is because, I still have a very successful business. We still got 4 clinics in the Northwest, and we're growing with some quite ambitious goals over the next 3 years. Which is cool. But like I said, on the 23rd of July 2014, I was trying to throw a Superman punch, and ruptured my Achilles tendon. What this did is, while I was sat home, I had 16 weeks sat in a boot following surgery, and it allowed me to sit down and reflect my own business and my own business practice, what people had said to us and what we were doing well and what we could improve on, which allowed me to come up with this 10-step framework. This 10-step framework, and then I shared with others, and it's taken me around the world, very fortunately, presenting this framework and the parts of the puzzle, or the pieces of the puzzle, to other businesses and those that we coach as part of our coaching program that we offer to business owners in the therapy market. It's one thing that we kind of put in first. At the moment in time, because it's been so useful to these businesses, I'm on a bit of a momentum or need to share this with others so they can apply the principles that we've done. highlighted, we've tested this over and over again with businesses everywhere, and the simple framework is a great way to put this all in place. And the aim is to share what's worked well for me and for others. The aim for me is not to patronise you and your business isn't doing as well as ours. That's not the whole process of this. It's just the idea that this is going really, really well for me and for other people. So that's why I wanted to share it. So what does this framework look like? Well, this. As you can see, it's that funnel effect. So thinking about developing interest, which is your marketing, how people inquire in your business and how effectively and efficient this can be done. Booking, how easy to do and how frictionless. And then it also gives us the ability to look at our a conversion rate from developing interest into booking. And then we've got pre-arrival, arrival, consultation, education plan, follow-up, and raving fans all the way through. And you can see how they loop, the raving fans loop back into booking or as a marketing strategy. So when we look at pre-arrival, we've got to accept that when clients book into your practice, they will have a set expectation of what they feel that your business is going to offer them, or more importantly, what they want from your business. And a lot of these previous experiences are based on what they've had before. So if they've been to the NHS or they've been to a different healthcare professional before, then they've got an experience of what they feel it could be. It could be that other people have recommended them, your raving fans have told them this is what to expect and what they're going to get from it. Or they could have simply Googled what to expect from a physio, sports massage therapist, healthcare professional, osteopath, etc., etc. And so therefore they're based upon another third party rather than what you do. So it's important that what you can then do, you've got an opportunity between the time of the book and the time of arriving to pre-frame their expectation. This is an opportunity whereby you can set the stall out, your stall of what your business offers and how the journey is likely to look like in your business. Now think about this. If we are now, before they've even arrived, we're telling them a positive ideology of what your business offers and how you can help them along their journey, and that you are going to take them on a journey step by step, and you understand it's an emotion, all those kind of things, that's automatically going to start to build trust and likability before they've even arrived in your business. And for me, that's a really nice place to be. So some good ideas about this is, first of all, how to get there, what's the best directions to get there, where to park, if there's any traffic jams or, at different parts of the day, or if there's any roadworks. These are all good information to make sure that your client on the journey to your business is a good one. Explaining what to wear, strappy tops, shorts, etc., etc. And may need glasses to do some paperwork. And I know from looking at many physiotherapy and therapy websites over the years, this information is on your website. But again, let's not expect our clients to take the time to do that. Let's make sure we send it off to them. For a lot of people, the emotional journey of being in pain, it's hard for their people and partners to understand. So just telling them that if they feel like they need to bring anybody along with them, the chaperone is welcome. Time is an important thing. If people are anxious or nervous about coming to you because they're afraid of what you might tell them, then telling them to come 15-20 minutes early because there's some paperwork, or that if that time of day traffic will be busy, to allow some more time. What it does is it's upfront and honest about what things and the expectation they've got to do. So it's important to understand who they're seeing, so that they've got an opportunity before they come to read up and research that. And so particularly for me, if you're saying, you're going to see Stephen, here's a little bit more about Stephen, you can read about his qualifications, etc., etc. Again, it also develops some rapport between you and the client. Setting what's going to happen on that first session. So explaining the fact that they're going to be sat down, we're going to ask them questions, we're going to help them find a good outcome. And then from finding that a good outcome, what we're then going to do is we're going to educate them why they've got this problem, and then we're going to set them a plan along the way. And then we set the expectation of what a journey looks like in their business. So our goal of our business is to help you. We're going to set this outcome, we're going to help you step by step, hold your hand along the way, while giving you responsibility and ownership and empowering you to how to look after your body. I think it's important that for a lot of us that we put out from the opposite. We do have a cancellation policy, and we highlight that within 24 hours you're going to be fully liable for appointments, so please make sure you do this. And then again, if you're in that, if it's a medical league or private medical insurance, that they're bringing up documentation and any excess they need. For some people who are using physiotherapy for the first time, this is information they may not know, so it's good to get it all prior to done, so they're not going to be billed for their work. So again, it's good, you can put as much or little information as these. These are just some examples that we use and we think are really useful. The important thing is how you're going to deliver it in your business. So for me, a nice short video explaining all this, it would be the ultimate goal, but a nice email just highlighting the journey, I think, is a really nice starting point for that. So not going into much detail, but if someone arrives in your practice, so you've set this expectation, then it's important to understand how they're going to be greeted, and do you do training of how you greet people? And I think it's really important to understand that, and the picture in the back of this slide is a girl with just a phenomenal smile, and I think a phenomenal smile goes so far. Dale Carnegie of How to Win Friends and Influence People said that was one of the biggest things that he did, and that's a 1930s classic book. But I think it's important to understand that how far a smile can actually go. And it's important to think about this. So, Moravian, a professor of psychology, looked at this in 1986 about this. Man over me, 1986. Anyway, Moravian, I'll send the quote, is what he did. He talked about the difference between the importance that people feel in the emotional level of the words that you say, how you say it, i.e. the speed that you say things, or the pitch and the tone of the voice quality, and then your body language and how your body language affects. And actually, when we look at this, content, actually the words that you say only account for 7% of communication meaning, whereas how you say it, so the voice quality, the speed, the tone, it's 38%, and your body language. So 93% of actually what you say to somebody is nothing to do with what the content was. The rest of it is all in how you say it and how you deliver it. So making sure that you're in a good place and to provide a positive body language and they use a positive tone of your voice actually means an awful lot more than what you say. So it's just taking some considerations. We're doing a presentation on the longer one of this. If you're interested, then let me know and I can go into more detail on that. So when people arrive in an outcome, now in this presentation that we did for COPA, my good friend Andy Byrne, who, sure if you follow him, he's doing his presentation too, so he can talk about his goal setting. What I talk about and what I think is important to understand is the fact that we work for a desired life outcome rather than a pain-related one. And I think it's important to allow people to understand what they want to achieve in life rather than just, I want you to get rid of my pain. And my comment is you need to be bold with this so you can help them take a real life outcome, but you've also got to be very realistic on where you're going to take this. So if you can help remove your pain, if I can help, remove your pain, allow you to move how you want, reduce the fear of having a reoccurrence, what would you like to achieve with our support? So again, it allows somebody to go into the future to think about if they don't have pain, if they can move well, if they're not afraid that things are going to reoccur, what could they potentially do? And again, what in life would you like to achieve that at this current moment in time you can't do? So really nice little points to think about and really nice questions. And again, you've got to word this as what feels comfortable in your world. These are just things that come to hand. So we've developed interest, someone's inquired, someone's booked, someone has, you've sent a pre-arrival, they've arrived, and we've done a consultation. Now for me, self-empowerment or client empowerment is a really nice point, and I think this sums it up when we talk about when you give a man a fish, he can feed his family for a day, or we teach a man to fish and he can feed his family for a lifetime. This sums up exactly how I feel about the education phase of a business and what I feel is our role and responsibility as a healthcare professional. And what's important that when we're educating people is we've got to put it in a way that they can share with others. So if the goal of every client coming in is to create a raving fan, let's put it in a way that our clients can then take it and tell their friends and family exactly what you've told them. Because most people are curious, and curious people will go, oh, how did you get on with the physio? How did you get on with the massage? How did you get on with the osteopath? And these people will, so you've got to be able to put it in a way that they can go, oh yeah, they told me this is what I've got, and this is what we're going to do, and this is the journey they're going to take me on. Fantastic. So if you're educating people on that pathway, they're going to be going telling all their friends and family, and if you do that in a way that others go, when I went to such and such, they never did it that way, you're going to stand out head and shoulders above others. So it's really important that you take the time to educate this, and if you've got you've got staff or in a multi-practitioner clinic, that you make sure that each and every one of you is very skilled at educating in a way that a client understands, in a way that they can share with others. And again, this is a model I've used with pretty much with every single client that comes in to help them understand the journey and the pathway. There's some incompetent models, so when they come into my business, they don't know what's wrong with them. They may have some ideas if they've Googled it, but most of the time they come in, you don't know. We do an assessment, and now we can tell them what's going on in their body. And then we can give them some exercises. So they don't know what's going on at the start, and then we tell them what they can't do, or we highlight what they can't do. And then we're going to give them some exercises, or we're going to give them some advice, or we're going to give them some education on what they need to do differently. But that needs to be a conscious effort to do that. So they go away and do that. Now, it's really important that the client understands that for that to become automated, it takes time to develop and actively work through that skill. To do that, and for them to become, in inverted commas, better, that must need to become an automated response, in the sense that the body has actually changed how it functions, and that's when they become unconsciously competent, or they don't need to think about that skill, it just happens automatically. And that's where I believe we complete our journey. And so it's important to understand that as a framework for how to pass through. So when we set a plan for our clients, so we educate them on why they've got it, then it's awesome to set a compelling future. So the outcome has to be something that's compelling and exciting and fun. So for example, it might be that you want to run, when someone says return to running, you've got to be able to say, well, it's returning to running in 10k for 45 minutes, for example, in whatever, a Manchester 10k. So we've got to set that outcome, how will that feel for them, and then we've got to tell them the journey along the way. So to get back at that speed, we're going to have to do some strength and conditioning, blah, 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 okay? In my experience, most people are undertreated rather than overtreated for several reasons, because of their own internal self-belief, that they believe they're taking more money off people than possible, or that when people's pain's gone, they just allow them to go in the world, even though the physiology may not have changed, or they may not be unconsciously competent. So think about, in you and your business, that, undertreating is just as, I believe, as unethical as overtreating, because you haven't completed the job, and therefore the chances of reoccurrence is then quite high. And again, ethical selling. If somebody does need a gym ball in their rehabilitation program, then if you say, right, you're going to need this gym ball for the rehabilitation program, what I would like you to do is go and purchase one. That person then has to go and take time, effort to find a gym ball that they then can't always understand. Is this the right one? Have I got the right product? Blah, blah, blah. For me, it's a better experience, or a better service when you offer your clients is, you are going to need a gym ball during your rehabilitation, and I have got the exact product here for you. I personally feel that's a better experience and a better customer service for your clients, rather than asking them to send away, and often they're in pain to walk around 5 or 6 shops to find the right product, or spend an hour or so on Google and Amazon trying to find the right product. So if you want your clients to be able to do things straight away, then I would definitely suggest start selling them products in your practice, your business. And then understanding the follow-up, there's 2 journeys. So you've got the during and the after, and it's important, in my belief, that during every single follow-up appointment that you maintain that, do your consultation, educate them, and then refer back to the plan. And if the plan is changed, tweak it, and give them the good reasons why. I believe it's important to be a leader for your client, and to lead them through their journey, and for them somebody that they can be inspired by, and they then want to come to that session. If you lead a client well, you're a good leader for them and you inspire them, why would they not want to come back and come into your practice? And also, if you've got a team around you, how do you lead them, and how do you inspire your team to do very similar things with their clients? For me, it's almost an essential thing that once the journey's ended, that you follow up with a client. And if you're uncomfortable with this, or that you're unsure about this, then just ask permission. So, for example, John, we've had a great journey together. You've achieved your outcome. You've done your Manchester 10K in 45 minutes. I think we're at the end of our journey. Just wondering, is it okay if I can just follow up with you in 1 month's time, please? Very few people are going to go, no. So I think it's important, but then it's also important you put that in your diary, and in 1 month's time that you ring John just to see how he's getting on. For me, it just shows that you care, and for me, that a follow-up, you've already told him it's part of the plan, so he's expecting it. And then we must think about feedback. To offer a client-centered approach, it's important to get the client's opinion and to see what we can do. They are the most perfect people in your business to highlight improvements. When we spend a lot of time working with businesses, sometimes the most obvious things that need improving aren't always the most obvious to the business owner. That's just because they've been in it so long and we become almost visually blind to things. And that's okay, that's understandable, and we recognise that does occur. The key is what feedback to ask for, and one of the things I would say is ask for things that is going to benefit you. The likelihood of they're going to refer, is there one thing that they could change in your business, or one thing that would improve the experience for them? So you don't need to ask an awful lot of questions. It can be very, very specific. And again, it's about test and measuring. So asking questions, seeing how successful you get with that, and then as you can change the feedback you ask for as and when you progress through. It's important that how and when you're going to do this. So for me personally, on the phone or personal is still the best. Although that might not be possible for everyone's business. So with the likes of Typeform and SurveyMonkey, there is still loads of ways to do this. As long as you explain to the client that they will be getting an email with the feedback, and that is part of the plan, that's part of your business approach, then that's still a very time efficient way to do things. And then you've just got to consider what you do with that feedback and how that fits into your philosophy or business. And if you're going to fit it in, then please tell everybody that based on the feedback of your clients, you have done X, Y, and Z. That shows that, one, you listen to the feedback that you've got, and also that you're willing to act upon it. And again, that's going to help build trust and likability. And for me, attempt to encourage every client to do this. The likelihood of you getting 100% feedback from every single client is not really a possibility or not a reality, although you can ask everybody to do it. That's the difference. Not everybody will do it, but you can at least ask everybody to do it. Raving Fan is exactly what we want. This is what we're ultimately in business for, the complete marketing asset of your business. You only get Raving Fans if they have had an awesome customer experience, if they've achieved their outcome. And it's always funny that the longer or the more clients that we've had on their journey, the more appointments they've had, the happier they are, the better the experience they've got. So it's not always little is best. In turning 1 into 81, very, very simple. For every client that's had an awesome experience in your business, you just ask them, do they know 3 friends that you can also help? If you know the compound mathematics, that, if 3, so in 12 months, if you ask 3 clients, that would bring 9. If you ask 1, that would bring 3. Ask 3, that would bring 9. Bring 9, 27, and 27, that's 3 is 81. So just by asking a very simple question for every happy customer in your business, if they know 3 friends that they could refer to you, then it's a very simple question, and again, an excellent way of helping turning one person into a Raving Fan. Then it's important to think about what you're going to do to maintain and develop your Raving Fan community. How you're going to do that with the likes of social media platforms and things like this. We can quite happily put all of our clients into one platform, or things like MailChimp. We can email people out and help to maintain and encourage them to share your content. We can't expect it just because you write phenomenal content that every client is going to want to share it. So sometimes we need to encourage them to share it with their friends and family and networks. So if you are writing a post or you're, that call to action of please share this with people that you know have got back pain, or please tag in a friend, this will be very, very useful. Because the aim is to create ripple effect and become the go-to business. So once you've listened to this, it'll be really good for you to think about what differences you can make and what your business could look like with a few adjustments. If you reduce your, the amount of people not coming to your practice and get a greater return on investment from your marketing, is that something that would benefit you? If I told you that actually this only takes 2 hours to do, you can write your own 10-step framework very, very quickly in 2 hours. Could you find that time? And if you need to, improve your client journey, then, we are here to help. So, free. And again, just a nice slide just to show that by creating a good framework, what we can do and the benefits you can get, we can increase your client retention, we can grow referrals, we can create client outcomes, we can get more sessions, more profit, more money to invest, more happiness, less awkward clients, and some phenomenal testimonials. So if you do have any questions, this is my email address, andy@perfectpractice.co.uk. Please feel free to get in contact with me. One of the things I'd like to always do, if you are very interested in helping improve your business and want, please let's have a virtual coffee. So I'm based in the northwest of England. If you are in and around the northwest of England, you are very, very welcome to come and meet me for a coffee. That would be fantastic. If you are not in the northwest and you would still like a coffee, then let's have a virtual coffee. Very often I'll have my coffee cup on that with me, and we can do Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or whatever works well for you, and let's have a coffee and let's chat about your business and what we can do. So thank you very much for listening, and please keep in touch.